Men of Galilee, why are you standing there looking up to heaven? Good question, isn't it? It's a question that perhaps you and I could be asked to answer. Because many times we as Christians think, oh, well, once I'm baptized, that's all there is. And I just sort of wait for the Lord to do something. Let me see what he's going to do. And eventually, I'll see something happen. The question to us is, what are you going to do with the faith that's been given to you? It's more than just sit here and wait for God to call you home. He did tell the disciples, as you heard in the gospel, that he was going to send the promise of the Father to us. Who's he talking about? Holy Spirit. That great feast we'll celebrate next Sunday. And he said to them, but stay in Jerusalem until that happens. Sort of funny. He tells them to go out and do what they're supposed to do as disciples. Yet, but until this happens, stay in Jerusalem. Well, if that was the case, Jerusalem would be an awful large city today, wouldn't it? If we had to stay there waiting for the Spirit to act in our lives. But I would suggest to you what the Lord is talking about is not a particular place, but until you experience the Holy Spirit in your life, stay close to God. For in Jerusalem was the temple. And for good Jews, being close to the temple was extremely important. And so how is it that we stay close to God today? It's certainly not just by running to the church house every time the front door is unlocked. But each of us in our own way is supposed to be building a personal relationship with God. We do that through prayer. Some of us use formula prayers, like the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Glory Be. Others choose to use the Liturgy of the Hours. Still others just pray contemporaneously, opening their heart to God with what they want to praise and what the needs of their family and their community are. Others read the Scriptures faithfully. Others receive the sacrament of the Eucharist frequently so that they can be strengthened by its grace. But throughout our lives, we are being urged by the Lord today to stay close to God in whatever way we need to do. And when we do receive those gifts of the Spirit, when we let the Spirit take hold of us, and we understand what we're called to do in this life, then we go out and we do it. For some, it may mean stay-at-home moms. For others, it may mean ministry in the church officially, or even ordained ministry. For still others, it's to lead a celibate life and pray for the world, like some of the orders of nuns and brothers. But whatever God is calling us to do, we must do it. We just must not stand around looking to the heavens and saying, what's next? Today, we welcome new life into the church. You heard Sandy commit to being a good Christian parent, of training her child in the practices of the faith, of growing up in the church, of being part of what we do. But it's just not only her job. Certainly the sponsors are there to support her. But it is our job as a faith community also to support her in raising her child to recognize the love of God in his life. And to keep him close to God until the Holy Spirit acts in his life as well. And he understands what he's called to do. This is a great feast. It's a feast not about just Jesus going back to heaven, but it's a feast that reminds us to stay close to him who loves us and who we should love in return.